practical examples we have learned, so let us look at some practical examples. The first example, brother Jabir passed away. Anyone who's Jabir here? I'm very sorry, I just took a name at random. So any Jabirs here, please don't get angry with me. So brother Jabir passed away. He left behind, but even if there are Jabirs here, they should realize, whether it be Jabir or Javed or anybody, each and every person has to pass away one day. So one day our name will be on this. That brother so and so passed away. Who he left behind? One son, 2 daughters, 5 brothers, 4 sisters, a father and a mother. This is parents basically. Now how will the estate be distributed? Now we said father gets 1/6. Why does the father get 1/6 here? Why is he not residuary? Son is present. When the son is present, father is getting only 1/6, nothing more. We said that. It's stipulated share of 1/6. Mother is getting 1/6. Why? Again, children are there. When the children are there, mother gets 1/6. The son is getting 2/6. Basically, after giving the father and mother, basically we have given 2/6. We divide the estate into 6 portions. 2 portions given. How many portions left? 4 portions left. Now those 4 portions will be shared on the basis of 1:2. 1 portion per daughter and 2 portions per son. There's 1 son, he gets 2 portions, 2 daughters gets 1 and 1. Here it's quite simple, but if there are more sons and daughters, then it gets a bit complicated. Now who else was there? 5 brothers, 4 sisters. Big numbers, no? They did not get anything. Why? I said the moment children come in, brothers and sisters, children or father comes in, children or father comes in, brothers and sisters do not get anything. So the brothers and sisters are deprived here. They are deprived. This is one example. Now what we just learned, just to implement it a bit. Second example. Sister Fatima passed away. Any Fatimas in the crowd? I'm sorry. So passed away, leaving behind a husband, 2 daughters, a brother, 1 grandson, son, 2 granddaughters who are son's daughters, and 1 granddaughter who's the daughter's daughter. I have brought this all just for you to understand who will be deprived and who will not. How will the estate be distributed? We say the estate will be divided into 12 portions. How we come to 12 portions? As we do the calculations, we will understand. Because here husband, we have put 3/12. That is 1/4. Husband gets 1/4. When does he get 1/4? When there are children. When there are children. How much is left? 3/4. 3/4. That we have to give 2 daughters who get 2/3. Who gets 2/3, and 1 grandson who takes the leftover. Who takes the leftover. Now, to calculate, we have 1/4 in one side and 2/3 on the other side. We have to bring a denominator which is larger, that is 12. We have to bring a denominator 12. That's why we divided the estate into 12 portions. So 1/4 of 12 is 3/12. And 2/3 of 12 is 8/12. So 2 daughters get 8/12. Each daughter will get 4/12. And leftover, 3 plus 8 is 11. How much is left? Only 1 left. That the grandson will take. Why? The grandson is the asaba here. He is the residuary. He takes the leftover. Now who haven't we mentioned here? Brother is not mentioned. Will the brother inherit here? No. Why? Because grandson is there. Grandson is from the first category. Brother is from the third category. When category 1 is there, category 3 is out of the picture. So brother is out of the picture. Then we have granddaughters. Will they inherit? Sons, daughters. Why? Because 2 granddaughters are here. 2 granddaughters are here. They will not inherit. And 1 granddaughter, the daughter's daughter, will inherit. Here we have to make a correction. Sorry. The 2 granddaughters here, they will inherit. They will inherit. We mentioned she becomes a residuary in the presence of a grandson. So she will take half the portion of the son. So she will inherit here. So with the grandson, what we have mentioned grandson, we're supposed to mention grandson and granddaughter. Grandson and the two granddaughters. The two granddaughters who are the son daughters. Who are the son daughters. They will inherit with the grandson. They will inherit with the grandson on the scale of 1:2. So this 1/12 we will divide into 4 portions. 2 portions to the 2 granddaughters, 1 portion to the 1 grandson. And yes, the daughter's daughter, she is not going to inherit. Daughter's daughter is not going to inherit. Why? She is not from the will furud or asaba. She is from the will arham. So daughter's daughter is not going to inherit. But these 2 granddaughters, the son's daughters will inherit with the grandson as asaba. So grandson plus the 2 granddaughters will take the leftover. They will take all the leftover. They will share the 1/12. Hi. Another practical example. Here brother Ismail passed away, leaving behind 2 wives, 1 daughter, 3 sisters, 1 uncle, father's brother. How will the estate be distributed? Here we say the estate will be divided into 8 portions. Why 8 portions? Because we have 2 wives here. And 2 wives will inherit 1/8. 1/8, they will have to share the 1/8. So 1/16 each. Half of 1/8 is 1/16. Then the daughters, how many daughters? 1 daughter. So she will take half. Daughter will take half. So we give 4/8 because we divide it into 8. Half of 8 is 4. So 4/8 to the daughter. Now 3 sisters. 3 sisters. Now sisters, we mentioned that in the presence of daughters, what happens to the sisters? They will become residuary. When daughters and granddaughters, etc. are alive, they will take the place of the brother. So these 3 sisters now will take the place of the brother. And they will take the leftover. How much is leftover? 4 plus 1, 5. 8 minus 5, 3. So exactly 3 portions left over for the 3 sisters. We will give 1 portion each to the 3 sisters. Now, who else is left? Uncle. Why is he not inheriting? Because the sisters took the place of the brother. Sisters took the place of the brother. In the presence of brother who is from the 3rd category, the uncle who is from the 4th category will not inherit. So when sister takes the place of the brother, the uncle will not inherit. Uncle will not inherit. Where's the son? If there is a son, then the whole thing will change. Then the sisters will not get anything. All the leftover will go to the, and even the daughter is not going to get her share. All the leftover will be shared with, by the son and the daughter. Same thing, regardless of from which wife. Because we are talking about the children of the Mayyit, regardless of first wife or second wife. Inshallah, the next, the 5th example, we will be talking about second wife. Regardless of which wife, we are only talking about the Mayyit's children. So if there was a son here, he is asking, what if there was a son in this scenario? If there was a son in this scenario, then the sisters, they are out of the picture. The daughter also doesn't get a stipulated share. The son and the daughter together will share the balance. 7/8 will be shared by the son and the daughter on the scale of 2:1. Okay, we'll go to this last example. Brother Hashim passed away, leaving behind 1 wife, 2 sons, 2 daughters, and here your question, 1 daughter from the previous wife. 1 daughter from the previous wife. So, one thing we must understand here, only his present wife will inherit. The previous wife who was divorced will not inherit. She is not going to inherit. A divorcee does not inherit. So, person divorced a woman, she's gone, she's out of the picture, she's not going to inherit now. So this is a practical example, and we could call it a live example also. This is an example of someone who passed away not too long ago. So, he left behind 1 wife, 2 sons, 2 daughters, and 1 daughter from the previous wife. How will the estate be distributed. Wife will get 1/8. Why? Because there are sons and daughters. He had brothers also. We haven't mentioned brothers here. Brothers and sisters also not mentioned here because they will not inherit in the presence of the children. So wife gets 1/8. Son. Now the balance, 7/8, will be shared by the sons and the daughters. And when it comes to daughters, we'll include these 2 daughters also, this 1 daughter also. Because she can be from another wife, but she is the child of the person who passed away. Brother Hashim who passed away, she is his daughter. So all 3 daughters will be taken into consideration and a son will be taken into consideration. And they will share the rest. How much is rest? 7/8. 7/8. Now the 7/8, if you look at the portions, son takes two sons take 2 portions each, so 4 portions go on there, and daughters take 1 portion each, 3 portions go on there. We've got exactly 7 portions. Exactly 7 portions. So we do not need to further calculate. So the 8 portions were divided in this manner, and this is how it will be distributed. Yes, next we'll move to some general concerns. Before that, one question was asked. Okay, and we'll take this scenario. Let's say in this scenario, one of the son, all of them are mature. All of them are mature. This was a question that came through SMS, so I thought let me answer it here while explaining this. One son is elderly, he's of an age that he can earn, and the others are maybe still schooling, although baligh, still schooling or learning or whatever. So he's the only person who's earning. Now the question here is, the father passed away. Does he have to distribute the wealth? Or can he keep the wealth with him, and because he's the only person, only breadwinner in the family, should he keep the wealth and earn from that wealth and provide for the rest? Now since everyone is baligh here, everyone is mature here, he has to first stipulate the share. He has to first find out how much has the father left behind. What's the total net value of the estate? After we said funeral expenses, after debts, after bequest, what's the net value? Take the net value and explain these portions. Explain this portion. And say, okay, you're the mother, you're getting 1/8, this is how much your portion is. You're the sister, you're getting 1/8, this is how much your portion is. You're the brother, you're getting 2/8, this is how much your portion is. Explain. Then he takes permission from them. That, do you allow me to use your portion? This will be my capital in the business, and I will be spending on you. Now in the net value, there may be property. So property can be separately calculated. This can be separately calculated. So their portion in the property also has to be explained. Their portion in the business also has to be explained. It has to be told to them, and if they willingly, they cannot be forced. If they willingly say, no, for now let it be, but our portions are there in this. And this should be in writing, put down, signed by 2 witnesses and say, okay, these are the portions, these are the amounts that belong to so and so witness, so and so heir, and it should carry on. So this is the manner that it should happen. So although physically we did not distribute here, by mentioning their shares and getting their permission, it is as if we have distributed. Okay. Now we come to the general concerns. First general concern, why women receive half the share of men. Most of those on the first floor have this question, that why are we deprived? Why are we receiving only half the share? Firstly, you must understand what I mentioned right at the beginning. أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. The one who has created us, he knows best what is right for us and what is wrong for us. And this is coming from the Quran. لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. It's a clear ayat of the Holy Quran. And definitely it is just. We have to be very careful in the words we use here. The moment we say, even, lightly, but isn't it unjust? It's not fair. If we use these words, we have indeed used the words of kufr. Because we are rejecting an ayat of the Holy Quran. لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. It's not unfair. It is totally fair. And just for us to understand some points here. One, all financial responsibilities are the responsibility of the man and not the woman. Woman has no financial responsibilities upon her. She does not have to earn at all. Men are the ones who have to give mahar. Men have to look into the expenditure of the wife, expenditure of the children, their education, etc. All this comes upon men. So, men need that wealth to spend. Women, they just take that half of what men take, and it is just their pocket money and nothing else. Next, even the expenditure of that particular person, that woman, has to be taken care of by someone else. Either by the husband, but let's say the husband passed away there, then the son is responsible. In the absence of the son, the father is responsible. Or then the brother is responsible, and so on. There is someone who is responsible. And if we have an Islamic government, if there's no one, the qazi is responsible. A woman does not have to earn on her own. She has to be provided for. She has to be provided for. So she's got no expenditure. And the reality of the matter here is, those who are promoting and finding fault in Islam and saying that, why women are getting less, why men are getting more, they are promoting equality. And Islam promotes equity. That's why equity is what? Fairly distributed. Now, just for you all to understand equity, mashallah, many different people sitting in front of me here. If I make a rule now, the moment you come out, step out of the mosque, I want equality. I want equality. All your shoe size has to be the same. All your shoe size has to be the same. I'm giving size 8, all have to fit into that. So Brother Shamir and Maulana Abdul Ahad are the first ones who are going to fight with me now. How do we fit into a number 8? No, but equality. You're propagating equality. Let us be equal. All of us will have to wear size 56 robes from today. Finish. Equality. And all have to be L. That's all. Equality. So, there's difference between equality and equity. Allah has created man separate. Allah has created woman separate. In a separate manner. The creation of the woman is totally separate from the creation of the man. So, woman has a specific role in society, man has a specific role in society. And what Sharia has ordained here is more than enough, or we'll say over and above what a woman needs to fulfill her specific role in the society. And it's only fair that we give the man double of what the woman is getting here. I hope this is clear to everybody. So why women receive half the share of men? Because in receiving that half share, it is fair by all. And it is fair from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not necessary that it be equal for it to be fair. Equality is not always fair. But equity, where we look at fairness. Now, I have said practical example. Let's look at a practical example. A father passed away, left behind 3 million. 1 million goes, let's say he had only one son, one daughter. 1 million went to the daughter, 2 million went to the son. Now son had to get married. He had to pay mahar. He had to get his sister married. He had to look into the expenditure of that marriage also, if there was any. And then the son gets married. Now he has to look into the expenditures of his wife, his children, if he gets children later, his children, etc. And this daughter who got married, she's got no expenditure. His 2 million would be gone very soon, and the daughter, upon her 1 million, she's going to receive extra mahar, etc. Extra. So practically, if you look at it, Islam is being fair. And Allah ya'lamu man khalaq. Allah, the one who created us, knows best what is good for us. Yes, since a lot of questions came on illegitimate child, we have clarified it here. Not recognized as a legal descendant of the male. So, will not inherit, will not take the name of the father, and father will not have to provide for him also. This is an illegitimate child. Yes, but will be regarded the child of the mother and will inherit from the mother. Who is an illegitimate child? Born out of wedlock. Born out of wedlock. So the questions that came in yesterday was, what's the fault of the child? First question came in, what's the fault, second question I would say, what's the fault of the child? What wrong did he do for him not to inherit? Here we must understand that the rulings of Sharia are not based on one situation. They are based on the whole situation. So looking at one situation, it might look like it's no fault of his. But by doing this, Sharia is putting a stop to having children out of wedlock. Like I mentioned yesterday, no one would want his children to suffer. So if he's going to have a child out of wedlock, he will think of the consequences before he's having the child. Likewise, the woman will think of the consequences before she allows anyone to come close to her. So that's the reason why Sharia has put these guidelines. Otherwise, Sharia is not here to oppress anyone. A legitimate child, if he grows out to be a pious person, a person close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if he shows good qualities, then Sharia advises us, treat him in a good manner. Don't look down upon him. Don't look down upon him. Treat him in a good manner. So, we are not oppressing him. It's just that on the broader picture, we are trying to maintain decorum, we are trying to maintain law and order. That if there is inheritance, if there is lineage going to be proved, it's going to be only through wedlock and in no other way. And that's the meaning of the hadith, al-waladu lil-firash. Al-waladu lil-firash. This was asked yesterday, where the hadith says that the child belongs to the bed. Here, bed means marriage. Bed means marriage. And this happened during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where a person, he told his brother, Utbah bin Abi Waqqas, told Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, that when you go to Makkah, there's this son of mine. The son of Jummuah is my son. But then Zam'ah's other son, he claimed that no, he's my brother. He's my brother from the same father, he's not. So there, the Prophet ﷺ ruled, although there were signs to show that he was actually the Nabi of Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, there were signs to show that, but still Nabi ﷺ ruled, al-waladu lil-firash. Where the marriage was, that's where the child is. So during a marriage, if she indulged in adultery, but here the father is saying, no, this is my son. And the person who was involved in adultery is saying, my son, we will go with the father and say, al-waladu lil-firash. That's the meaning of that hadith. We should understand it properly. And this question came in on SMS. What if the couple married after engaging in zina? The question is, for example, engagement happened. Now after engagement, just for us to be clear, yes, we are gone past 9. Inshallah, we said yesterday maximum, 9:15. We'll go till 9:15 today. Today is Sunday, everyone is relaxed. And Sri Lanka is also not playing today, so we can go till 9:15. So, let's say now engagement happens. Now, engagement, there's no basis for engagement in Islam. Okay, engagement happens, we go there, we say and we confirm, a confirmation. After that, nikah should take place. Until nikah has taken place, they are still strangers to each other. For us to speak to each other on the phone or visit, meet each other, go to restaurants, etc., is totally haram. And if we are going to start our marriage with that, we are starting wrong-footed. We are starting with haram. What barakah do we expect in that marriage? There's going to be no barakah whatsoever, no blessings whatsoever, unless that person makes tawbah and turns back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah has to give him the tawfiq of tawbah. Generally we see that these marriages that start wrong-footed, we don't see barakah. There's always problems in that marriage. So let us avoid haram. Avoid haram. But they met. It was haram for them to meet. They met. Now, the woman has conceived. Woman has conceived. Out of wedlock. Now they get married. Will that child be still called an illegitimate child? The answer is, if the child is born within 6 months, after 6 months of marriage, not before, after 6 months of marriage, the child will be called the child who was born out of that marriage. If child was born 6 months or later after marriage, 6 months or later after marriage, we won't call that child an illegitimate child. We will say that child was born from that marriage. The child was born from that marriage. So we do not have to call him an illegitimate child. So Allah forbid, if it happens, then the advice is get them married as soon as possible, so that the child becomes a halal child, doesn't become an illegitimate child. Again, al-waladul firash. Because the minimum period, this is, now Islam has taught this 1400 years ago. Minimum period of hamal, of fetus, is 6 months. A child can be born after 6 months of conceiving. Before 6 months, child cannot be born. So if it's after 6 months, there's a chance that it was from the marriage. Since there's a chance, al-waladul firash, we will say it belongs to the person whom she is married to. The other thing to discuss is the fetus. That is, many people do not know this, that when a person dies and a relative of hers is pregnant, and her child, if he or she is, an heir, if he was alive, he would be an inheritor, an heir, then even that fetus in the stomach of the mother will inherit. Fetus will inherit. So that's what I have mentioned here. If a woman was pregnant during the death of one of her relatives, then the fetus in her stomach will inherit, as long as he or she, it should be he or she qualifies to be an heir. So if he or she, the fetus qualifies to be an heir, then will inherit. Now if the fetus is inheriting, but there's one condition, should be born alive. If the fetus was stillborn or passed away whilst in the stomach, will not inherit. Has to be born alive. So we are not sure whether it will inherit or not. So what do? We will keep his or her portion aside, and the other people's portions will be given. Now you say, how to keep the portion aside? If he's a boy, he might get a bigger portion. And if he's not born, he might not get at all. So we'll say the biggest portion. In cases where the portions differ for male and female, the portion kept aside will be the highest portion. Highest possible portion will be kept aside, and the rest will be given. Then, depending on the result, the correct portion will be given depending on whether male or female or was stillborn. It will be distributed, and the balance will be distributed amongst the other heirs. So what we are trying to say here, what we need to understand here more than the distribution is, the fetus is a potential heir. The fetus is a potential heir, and we need to take the fetus into consideration. Or let me put it this way, if the fetus is a potential heir, we need to take the fetus into consideration when distributing the estate. If the fetus is a potential heir, we need to take the fetus into consideration before distributing the estate. Yes, the next slide is of maradul maut, that is a terminal illness. We must understand the rulings in a terminal illness, they differ from the rulings in normal circumstances. What do you call terminal illness? A person is bedridden and he passes away from that sickness. He passes away from that sickness. That sickness is called maradul maut. During maradul maut, acknowledging death, gifting, divorce, they have a different ruling. They have a different ruling. The same ruling will not apply. So if someone gifted something in his terminal illness, when we say terminal illness, now some will say cancer. Now he has cancer for more than a year. That will not be called a terminal illness. We are talking about illness where he is bedridden and it does not prolong for more than a year. So such sicknesses, any transactions done like acknowledging a death, gifting or divorcing, their rulings differ from a normal situation. We need to, if that happens, we need to go to the ulama and find out what is the ruling in this situation. What is the ruling in this situation? Any gifting in such a situation will be taken as a wasiyah. Why? Because it's terminal illness. He knows he's going to, because of the illness, he is most likely going to pass away from this illness, he knows. Now he wants to give everything as sadaqah. So it will be treated as a wasiyah, where only from 1/3 we will give, and we cannot give an heir. All that we studied yesterday, all that will apply. So likewise, divorce. If he's giving divorce, talaq raj'i, with the intention that, I want to deprive this woman. Because If I pass away and she's my wife, she will inherit. I don't want her to inherit, so let me give talaq. And if he does that, then if he dies while she is still in her iddah, she will still inherit. She will still inherit. So like that there are different masail. Even deaths that are acknowledged in Maradul Maut, they will be given least preference. Other deaths will be given more preference, and so on. And about gifting, we already discussed yesterday that for gifting to be valid, there should be offer and acceptance, and there should be possession taken. Only if the possession is taken, the gift is now complete. And the milkiyah, that is, the ownership will now pass from the person who gifted to the giftee, the one who received the gift. So until possession is not taken, the gift is not complete. So if it's not complete, let's say father said, now this is one of the questions that came. Let me answer it one time. That mother, she has one son and 3 daughters, and she wishes to gift them all 25%. Can she do that? Can she do that? If she is gifting and these conditions are fulfilled, that is offer and acceptance, possession take place, then she can gift. We have mentioned here, when gifting children in lifetime, equality should be maintained. In lifetime when we give, we don't have to give on the scale of lizzakari mislu hazzil unsayayn. We give equally to all the children. So, but these conditions should be fulfilled. Now she was talking about a property. Now that property or whatever wealth she was talking about, it has to be gifted and it will be out of her ownership. Now here, sometimes the parents are a bit skeptical because they don't know the child after he becomes the owner of the parent's wealth, is he going to take care of the parent or not? Sadly, that's the situation today. So that's why they do not want to part with the wealth. So in that case, that gifting won't be correct. If they're not parting with the wealth, they say, no, this 25% for each, but you take it after I pass away, this wasiyah will not be correct. This wasiyah will not be correct. They will inherit in accordance to what we discussed today. I hope that is clear. Yes, do we take more questions or there are questions, but
adopted child becomes illegitimate child?
No, well, look, adopted child is not illegitimate.
No, if there is no proof.
If there is no proof, he will not inherit. Adopted child will not inherit. I think the questions, because I think we've gone above time. Can we take more time? Okay. A married woman gives birth to a child. It's the same question, extramarital relationship. We said al-waladu lil firash. That will be, the inheritance will be from her husband, and not from the one whom she was involved with. Yes, further questions? We have received as SMS. Yes, one question that came was, non-Muslims who get married, they have children. Now they accept Islam. Now the way they got married wasn't according to Islam, and they had children. Will those children be called illegitimate? Now, as long as they got married in a manner which is correct in their religion. As long as they got married in a manner which is correct in their religion, their children will be regarded as legitimate. And if both of them accept Islam together, the husband and wife who are non-Muslims, they were married but they accept Islam together, their marriage will still be intact. Their marriage will still be intact. Unless they are married to a mahram. Or they are married to more than 4 wives. That means they are married to someone whom they cannot marry. For example, like in India, they get married to they call Thai mama. That is their mother's younger brother. So in that case, the marriage will be null and void. Otherwise, even the marriage will be intact. And as long as they were married in the manner correct in that religion, the children will be regarded as legitimate, not illegitimate. But if the children are illegitimate in that religion, here too they will be illegitimate. Okay. I am a mother of 4 children, 1 son, 3 daughters. I own a big house. This is what I already answered, that can I give 25% to each? The person has mentioned, I have spoken to them and all of them agree. But the conditions of gifting have to be fulfilled. If they are not fulfilled, then it won't be a gift. It will be still part of the estate and it will be distributed. Okay, can parents choose who they want their kids to live with in case of their death? Can it be who they want, or does it always have to be the father's family? Can parents choose who they want their kids to live with in case of their death? Now this would not be with inheritance, not a question of inheritance. Yes, I mean, the ruling that is kept in Islam as far as the wali is concerned, this comes as a rule of the wali. Who will be the wali? Who will be the wali? So generally, it's like what is mentioned here, father's family, they are the wali. But if they choose, in Islam, an overarching principle is when they come to an understanding. When they have come to an understanding, people on this side and that side, all have come to an understanding, okay, these people, for example, the mother's sister is the one who will take care of the children, and mother's sister is regarded as a mother in Islam. So that's totally fine. It's when there is a dispute that we come to the Islamic ruling and we say, okay, this can be the wali and this cannot. But if there's no dispute, amicably they agree to something, it can happen, there's no problem. Okay, how do you know whether a will is true or fake? Will anyone can make a fake will and say it is the will of the deceased? I mentioned yesterday that when it comes to the will, legally, for a will to be legally binding, what are the conditions? We should consult a lawyer. So once it's legally binding, we know that it is not fake. Where it will have the signature of the person who wrote the will, signature of 2 witnesses who witnessed the writing of the will, etc., then it cannot be fake. Otherwise, yes, a will can always be fake. We do not have to accept it. We can also reject it. Okay. Is last will permissible that it is not in line with the Islamic distribution of the estate? If someone writes a will which is not in line with the Islamic distribution of estate, that will not be accepted. Will not be accepted. And we said that the person, we mentioned it yesterday, that the person will be sinful. The will not be accepted and the person will be sinful. Gifting while alive to the elder children and after Mayura still belongs to heirs who has been gifted already. How? Okay, we discussed gifting already. When there are 5 children and 2 daughters from the previous marriage, they will be inheriting anything. If there's only 1 daughter and she'll inherit. 5 children and 2 daughters from the previous marriage, I told you, if the father passes away and he had children from the previous marriage, definitely they will inherit. Definitely they will inherit. So children from the previous marriage, regardless, they will inherit. Yes, the second wife passes away, then the first wife's children are not going to inherit because they are not her children. Only her children will inherit. But if the father passes away, the first wife's children will also inherit, the second wife's children will also inherit. If the property was divided not during terminal illness, but way before, but on condition that the complete ownership goes to the children after the death of the mother, we cannot put conditions. When gifting, etc., conditions cannot be put. Conditions will not be valid in gift. Either it's gifted or not. We cannot put conditions there that after this should happen and that. No. Only thing, if it's gifted properly according to what we have mentioned, then it will be a gift. Otherwise, it will go as part of the estate. I think we will stop there with questions. Something very important? Just last question.
That is Iqbal. Would we be considered having discharged our inheritance properly? We appoint an accountant or qualified alim and a lawyer to execute our will?
Yes. The question is, to execute our will, we have consulted an alim, consulted a lawyer, and we have done the needful. Have we fulfilled our right? Will we be questioned about that? No, we won't be questioned because La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. What is within our capability, we do. We have done best to our capability. After that, whatever happens, if the heirs, they do something and something wrong happens, then it's not our fault. Khair, we will stop there. There is one written question which came before. A man dies leaving his wife, 2 full brothers, 3 full sisters and 2 half brothers from his mother's side. How to divide his shares? Please ask this question on a personal basis because it's a personal question. Not everyone will benefit. So we did a few practicals from this basic understanding would have come. But personal question, if that same person who wrote can text us, we will answer him personally. Yes, just to conclude, all this that we just studied now is why? Because we know this worldly life is a temporary life and our objective is the akhirah. And we want to attain success in akhirah. So sometimes for little bit of temporary benefits, we tend to forget the akhirah and we tend to lose out in the akhirah. So sometimes it's better we let go of something. So as a dispute, we let go of something for the better akhirah where we dispute and take it, and if it's not ours, we will be held accountable in the akhirah. And we end with this hadith. This hadith is the hadith of a pauper. Who's a pauper? Who's a bankrupt person? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, who's a bankrupt person? You know who's a pauper? So says the person who does not have any dirham or dananir, he's a pauper. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said no. A person will come on the day of Qiyamah. He would have had a lot of salah, lot of zakat, and everything to his name. But he swore such and such a person, slandered such and such a person, usurped the wealth of so and so. This is what concerns here. Usurp the wealth of so and so. And taking a portion which doesn't belong to us from the inheritance is usurping the wealth of the other heir. Then what is the result? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, and with that shed the blood of such and such a person, hit another person, that so and so will claim from his good deeds. Now what will happen? That person will start claiming from his good deeds. When good deeds are over, that person will start giving his bad deeds and he will be hurled into the fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save each and every one of us. So let us be very careful when it comes to inheritance. Let us make sure that we haven't taken a cent from the portion of another person. Consult ulama. As I told right at the beginning, this 2-day workshop, we are not going to become experts in inheritance. But it's just creating an awareness, giving a general idea of how inheritance works. Let us consult ulama each and every time a situation comes, and let us make sure that not a single cent is usurped from another person. Jazakallah khairan wa ahsana jazaa. Firstly, jazakallah for all you for coming these 2 days, sitting with us, spending your time. And jazakallah to all the youngsters, especially the knowledge circle, who came forward with this idea that we should have something like this, and all the youngsters and the ulama who helped in setting things up, etc. And a big jazakallah to the mosque that they allowed us to use the mosque with the AC, etc. mashallah, with a good ambience and the very good carpet. I've been standing for so long, but I don't feel it, mashallah. The carpet is so good. So jazakallah khairan to the mosque also for providing us. And like I said yesterday, we have used some benefit from the mosque. Let us try to benefit the mosque from our side. Also, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this 2-day workshop. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it a means of us attaining success in this world and hereafter. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from amongst His close servants. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.